Hello and welcome to the Woodridge podcast series. I'm David, or Dave if you prefer, from audioprojectcentral.com, and I'm proudly hosting this series which has the goal of bringing you informative and uplifting character profiles of some of the teachers, staff members and students at the school. The guest for this episode is Olivia Cockcroft, who at the time of recording in 2021 is a prefect and drama enthusiast at the school. Please remember to press the like button on whichever platform you are using to access this episode, and do share the episodes on your social media with your friends and family. You can find out more about Woodridge by visiting www.woodridge.co.za, and you can pop in at the Woodridge College and Preparatory School Facebook page too.
I live in PE and I spent my early childhood in Grahamstown, so I'm a farm girl at heart. I went to Clarendon Park Junior School in PE, and for my whole childhood junior school time, Woodridge was kind of like a dream, but I never really imagined I'd ever be here. It was definitely not part of the plan, but I got offered an amazing opportunity and I'm so grateful to be here. I'm a matric and I'm a prefect and deputy head of my hostel. I love being part of Woodridge, especially the nature aspect, because a big part of me kind of wishes I still lived on the farm being barefoot like all day, every day. It's one of the reasons I love Woodridge so much.
Are you the head of a lot of drama performance things that go on there? I have reason to believe that.
I'm like the kid that's in every play that there ever was. So I can't say I'm the head of anything dramatically, but I will campaign for drama till my dying days.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been in pretty much every play. So I love it.
Can you talk a little bit about the plays? I don't know too much about drama at Woodridge. The main focus is often on the outdoor element that you just referred to, and it's very tempting to pick up on that link between your rural background and then your present very picturesque, almost pastoral setting. But let's push towards the drama, because I haven't got too much information about that side of the school.
There's supposed to be a play every year, but obviously COVID inhibited that a bit. In grade 8, I wasn't part of the play, unfortunately. I was on crutches, but it was District 6, which is probably Woodridge's best known play, because they still managed to pull it off after the fires, and it was a musical. And then in grade 9, we did Almost Maine, which is my personal favorite. It was a very simple, very heartfelt love story. And then grade 10, we did Alice, and I played Alice, and it was the craziest experience ever because it was nothing like I'd ever done before. It wasn't conventional drama at all. You changed costume on set, and we did it on the floor, and like a lot of physical theatre. So that was actually a really interesting process because we worked with one of the matrics at the time. She is an excellent dancer, so she helped choreograph some stuff. And for me, who cannot dance or sing whatsoever, it was really fun. And then last year, we were on our last few rehearsals of our play when lockdown hit, so we didn't get to finish that. There's inter-house plays every year, which is my personal favorite because it's really one of those things where you get everyone involved, whether they like drama or not. Like, you just get them involved, and it's so much fun. I'm quite competitive, but I love inter-house things because I think it's a really, really important bonding and traditional part of the school. Each of the houses has a little play that they put on, and they write the play and direct the play and do everything. So I did that in grade 8, 9 and 10. And then there's also just Knock on Wood, which is a nice Statefoot competition. There's a couple other things. Recently we did an online performance where everyone did a little piece and we put them all together to kind of improvise around not being able to perform on stage.
Is that accessible online?
Yeah, it is. It's on YouTube.
Okay. What kind of search term are we looking for there?
It's called The Ugly Duckling Remake, but it's nice because we didn't get to give recognition to a lot of people because they missed out on places where you could get awards like the plays or inter-house plays or the I Stayed for competitions. So we did that, and then we got an external judge to actually mark everyone's performances, which is cool.
This drama background, do you think it is pushing you towards your future career choices or study choices, or just the future path that you have ahead of you?
To be honest, I would love to study drama, but my future career choice is actually on a completely different path. So I'm hoping to study medicine. It's kind of my other passion. But I definitely think drama just goes well with my personality. I'm very talkative and chatty and outgoing. And I think it also really helps with people skills, just learning empathy and working with people and understanding people. Because in drama, I take it as a subject as well. And as you go to the higher grades, you really have to like dig deep and understand the characters you're playing. So I think it really helps with working with people and understanding where they're coming from.
Olivia, is there anything about you that none of your peers or teachers would know about you that you'd be happy to tell me and us?
I'm really hoping after I finish studying to do Doctors Without Borders, which I'm not sure if a lot of people know. And I don't know if a lot of people actually know about Doctors Without Borders as a whole, really. But yeah, that's something I'm really hoping to do. I think it would be an amazing opportunity. I'd really love to have a traditional white Christmas one day. Completely off topic, but...
I had a couple when I was in England for a few years, and they were fun for the first two seasons, and then it gets a bit cold and sloshy, and you get over it.
I'm not built for snow or coldness at all, but I just want to wear like an ugly Christmas sweater and have like house lights and like play Christmas music, you know.
But you can do that in South Africa too. You'll just be looked at a bit weirdly.
That's a good point.
So when you find yourself in the deep end, so to speak, what do you do to wade over to the shallow end or get out the proverbial pool?
A lot of the time I kind of overcommit myself sometimes. I get involved in everything and there's just so much going on. So I find personally that getting out and like going for a run or just being in nature really, really helps me. There's this one spot on one of the Woodridge trails that overlooks the whole valley, and just sometimes sitting there and just it gives you perspective on things and helps you kind of sort your head out a bit and take a deep breath. And I also think sport really helps. Like a really tough session in a warm shower can work wonders. But also, I'm very lucky to have a lot of people in hostel that I'm very close to, and it's very close in community. So we've all kind of got each other's backs. So that's always good to have a good support system.
You've provided some good insight from the perspective of a student at the school. Could I ask you, how do you think Woodridge adds value for parents and guardians as well?
Well, from an educational perspective, obviously, I think Woodridge has a really high standard of work, which is beneficial to both students and parents. But I also think the fact that the students get so many opportunities to explore and to grow in a very safe environment. And by the end of it, we kind of have a pretty good idea of who we are. And I think that self-confidence is really, really important when going into the world. And it's also the surety that the parents or guardians get, knowing that their kids are getting a very holistic, all-around approach on education is very valuable. And also, like I said before, the close-knit community that's here, I think is very, very important. It creates an environment that's very, very safe.
How do you make sense of what you do as a pupil, or how do you frame your time at Woodridge and how it has been part of your development and how it has set you up for the future in the working world or whatever kind of world you think you're going to be entering into?
Well, my goal as my role in Woodridge as a prefect or even just as a student is really just to make people enjoy it as much as I did and do. I've had so many wonderful experiences and opportunities, and I want to get kids involved, basically. I want them to go camp and go run and do the play and organize events and do everything that you possibly can, because even though I've done as much as I could get my hands on, I still feel like I haven't done enough. And I don't want anyone else who's leaving Woodridge to feel that they could have done more. I just want people to be able to have experiences that they can kind of leave school and they have amazing stories to tell and fond memories to look back on. Going into the future, Woodridge probably just taught me to be really, really grateful and appreciative of what I have, because there's moments where you're like in the trails and it's the most beautiful day and there's like a giraffe walking past you on the giraffe plains and you just stop and you realize that like, this is insane. This is insane. Like not every kid has this. And it really opens your eyes and gives you perspective on how privileged we are. It teaches you a lot. It teaches you obviously all the core aspects that school should teach you, like teamwork and tenacity and stuff. I think it also teaches you to appreciate what you have.
There is that blessing and curse that says, may you live in interesting times. Our times are certainly interesting. What do you think is the most interesting thing about our interesting times, and why?
Probably the concept of time itself. Nothing is for certain anymore, like at all. You can't plan anything. Like they always say to us at assemblies, like the Derby Day next week might happen. We're not sure. Everything is kind of take it as it goes. And for me personally, that's very, very difficult because I'm someone who relies very heavily on routine and planning. And so it's difficult to take a step back and accept the fact that you can't control it. You need to focus on the things you can control. I think that can, like the proverb, be both a blessing and a curse, because it's frustrating, of course, but it also teaches you to live in the moment, so to speak, and to kind of enjoy and appreciate the little things that you have now, because you genuinely don't know what's going to happen in a month or a year.
And that brings us to the end of the interview. Thanks for listening, and please do remember to share the episodes and relevant social media posts with your friends and family, and like the episodes at whichever social media platform you found them on. If you have any follow-up questions, head over to www.woodridge.co.za, where you will find the contact details for the school, and you can contact me at www.audioprojectcentral.com.